Alright guys, welcome back to the channel again. This is small updates. One of the things I hated was all the toilets. It felt like timeout chair and they were circle, so obviously we went with this is a Kohler, I think it's called an Elliston. A lot better, really nice. I was kind of worried about the space, but actually gives you more space in the back than the other one. So this is just temporary. This whole room needs redone, but I'm tired of sitting on the floor. So next we're going to work on my wife's closet in the bathroom, and we're going to get that painted, put a new light fixture. All right, separate day. So I was going to paint my closet. We're going to paint the wife's. I pulled everything off the walls. There's a bunch of racks in here. She wants to try to paint them. They're only temporary. I'd like to do like a closet system. Had to patch a bunch of spots on the ceiling, the walls. There's a couple nail pops. We're gonna paint this the same green. Also, I will set up on a time lapse when we replace that. Looks like there's gross wallpaper behind it. Couple spots here that need fixed. All the wallpaper's coming down. The tape up there kind of worries me a little bit because I've never done that, but I got the brush today, so we're gonna give it a whirl. All this is coming down. We're gonna paint it. There's camo above my shower. Stuff like this is coming down, and we're probably gonna get one of those cheap Amazon mirrors. That is 55 by 36. It's 55 inches wide, 36 inches tall. Probably get rid of that and just have the mirror. They're like $200 right now for Cyber Monday deals, but not trying to spend any more money because I just spent a whole bunch. So I'm gonna start painting this. We're not gonna primer this one. This wasn't as bad as the kitchen. The paint that I have already has primer in it, but the kitchen was kind of bad. Well, the pantry was bad. Again, not showing you paint. This is just first coat. Obviously I have to go around each one of those racks. I'm trying to be careful not to get paint on them. They're not staying forever anyway, so even if they do get a little paint on them, not worried about it. Got to edge in all around the ceilings, the door, and all 97 hooks. So, yeah, at least that's the first coat. I'm probably gonna run out of paint. The pantry in this room has eaten all but a gallon. There's like maybe a quarter of a gallon left. So hopefully we can get this finished up. Still gotta do the ceiling too. All right, so first coat is done. Now still gotta paint the ceiling. It's that pink color, but everything looks really good. There was a little bit of drywall work in here that I had to fix, as every other room. Like I said, this is first coat, and it's not completely dry. Like over there, actually needs more paint. Like I said, don't worry about light fixtures. I have the new rocker style somewhere in here, and then yeah, looks really clean. So I actually really like this color. We're gonna do satin white on the ceiling and put all the shelves back in. There's stuff like right there that still needs touched up, but we're getting there. So I'll do another video here later. I gotta go for now, and we'll get a second coat on that and maybe a first coat on the ceiling. If I can get a second coat by tomorrow, that ugly light fixture's gone. All the green is finished up. I'm getting ready to paint the ceiling. Turn the light off, see if you guys can get a, now it looks white. I don't know. I don't know if you can kind of see it. It's a really light color of pink and it's super ugly. So I'm gonna start painting white. This bathroom is also wrecked. This is Valspar's signature series, and she decided to do satin this time. Normally we do semi-gloss, so I'd like to get the ceiling all done, get rid of the old brass fixture, and then put all the racks back. We also have a toilet, which I might put you guys on time lapse if anybody wants to see that. I use that new Better Than Wax ring. It's like a O-ring, well, it's like a rubber O-ring, and much better. This toilet was replaced at one point. I hate this one the least amount, but I hate them so much that I bought two matching identical toilets. So ceiling first. And then there's a few spots since I got the green out I have to touch up in the pantry, so get all them put back in. There, this will actually give you a little better contrast color. So that is the pink that we were working with. I know it's kind of hard to look at, especially with the light. I need to hold this still. I got to finish painting that little spot rolled on, and then I got to touch it up, or I got to go over the whole thing again. Need a little brush all the way around the edge. Some of the drywall is not perfect, and that's not for me, it was whoever did it. Anyway, I'm going to finish painting this, and then we're going to work on the toilet. Trying to do better with film, and this is very different than cars. Toilet comes out, obviously there's 2 bolts at the very bottom. There's a hole there and a hole on the other side. Gotta clean the wax ring up. You unhook the water. If you don't have a shut-off valve, you are going to have to shut the main off. We have a shut-off valve at each toilet. I'm also going to use my sister's steamer, and we're going to try to get rid of the rest of that wallpaper. I got to finish draining the water out, and I'm going to haul out to my dump trailer. It's gross. It's gross underneath of it too. I'm going to clean this whole area around it, behind it, underneath of it, before I put the new toilet in. So once I want to take care of this part. You guys don't need to see that part. I'm going to go ahead and remove that, clean all this, haul that away. And then I'll show you the wax ring. It's not really a wax ring, it's a rubber one. Big fan of it, and I will always use that from now on. It's like, I guess 3 times the price of a wax ring, but it's only $9. So anyway, let me take care of this and get rid of that disgusting thing. And yeah, we'll get to installing this. Clean the floor up. Waiting on the steamer so I can get the rest of the wallpaper. I think the hardest part of a toilet install is not getting any of the gross stuff on you. But this is the kit that I was telling you about. Now it depends on if your floor is other than that one, there's a thicker ring that goes with it. Depends on if the flange is below. Mine are above, so I just need this. Pretty much, you feed the bolts. I'll show you where they go. Up slotted, they have these little plastic washers, and then whenever you get the toilet actually installed, you'll have to cut those bolts so the caps on the side go in. So let me work on getting the rest of the wallpaper, and we'll get into this. All right, so obviously that little spot was where the wallpaper was. That's not done. I just had some white paint that was left out from the ceiling. That's not the color we're painting this. It's just temporary. When this gets done, the floors are coming out anyway. That was another thing I wanted to say. Normally, you should caulk around the sides and the front, leave the back open. But I'm not doing that because, again, this is coming out and I don't want to deal with the mess. So just temporary because I'm tired of the timeout. Timeout potties. We're going to just paint anything so any of the smells or anything are gone. And we're going to put that in. So let me, I guess, start with the wax ring and then we'll get to the toilet. Okay, so this fits with any flange. There's the picture that I was telling you about. So that ought to show you how the install goes. So obviously each bolt goes there. This is gross. We do not need this. We're just going to need just this part. So let me stand the bolts up in there and I'll show you what it looks like as soon as I'm done. I'll have my tripod. It's somewhere in the house. So plastic washers are under there. This just sets down in there and the toilet bowl sets on top of that. So let me go grab the toilet bowl. I'll show you at least how mine gets assembled and we'll test it. So obviously once the flange is down, you're gonna have to align this so I got stuff everywhere. But both of these bolts are in there. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll show you, it's a plastic washer, and then you have to put a washer and a nut down. And like I said, you are gonna have to cut these. I'm not gonna show you that part, but I at least wanna get this to the point of where it's somewhat secure, and then we'll work on the tank. Tank sits back there. It's gonna be a little tricky by myself because those are kind of like spring loaded in that tank. I'll show you what I'm talking about, but pretty much you just feed them down through. So let me get the feed on the bolts on the bottom part and we'll finish up with this. Okay, so it goes just like this down, and then the metal washer will go through there, Of course, the stud and the nut's going to be sticking up there. This goes directly like that. That's why you have to cut those legs down, and of course, or the bolts down. Depends on which toilet you have, is how you're going to have to figure out how much to cut. I'm going to use like a little Dremel. I used it on the other one, but I actually still need to cut a little bit more. And then we got to clean all this mess up. So I'm not worried about the caps right now. I'm just more worried about getting this in. Let me get this washer and nut down, at least so it's, I can kind of figure out where center is. I'm going to measure off the wall. This is going to be hopefully the wall straight sort of deal, but as long as it looks visually straight to the eye, it's kind of what construction is. It's how well can you hide imperfections, and that's every house is not perfect. Okay, so I was able to at least get it level within the wall. That's the saying, if the wall is straight, if nothing else, it's at least going to go level with the crooked. So anyway, in the back, you'll see that one, and that one. So you got to push down on these. You're not going to be able to watch me do this. Push down on these and then put a washer and a nut on the back side. Basically go until it's tight. Don't over crack it, or don't over tighten it, you'll crack it. And then at that point, I'm going to hook the water line back up, and we're going to test to see if there's any leaks. And then I can finish putting the seat and the lid and everything back on. I know most people are probably going to wonder why I'm installing this if the rest of the bathroom still needs painted and work done to it. We're just tired of the old toilets. And I think the other one was the wax ring was starting to leak. It had a small odor in here. And so yeah, that was another reason. But that, I'm just tired of the circle toilets. Whoever made those, terrible person. So anyway, these are really nice. These are Kohler Ellistons, I believe. I got it like $50 off each one. Super nice. So let's get this, and then that way you can get everything else cleaned up. Not that you're going to be able to see it, but next we're putting the water line back on. Always recommend getting a new one. I threw the other one away. Do not tape the fitting. It's at least what the instruction said. There's a compression fitting. It looks like a little rubber O-ring in the bottom part of that. So of course you just screw it in. There's like a gray plastic handle that has wings on it that you can thread into the tank. You're gonna need a pair of pliers or a wrench for that. So let me tighten that up, and we're gonna turn water on, test for leaks. They did a flashlight, how to put my hand over. Water's filling up. We're just looking back here to see if anything is leaking. Which nothing is. That's the threaded part that I was talking about down there. So if you guys are wondering why we're not replacing everything, rim wasn't built in a day, and this isn't going to be done in a day. So some of these things we want to be able to live comfortably. I hated the circle toilet. It's a lot nicer. And yeah, things will eventually get replaced. So one other thing I should have mentioned, you do have to make sure that the toilet is level, or not the toilet so much, the lid. So those 3 bolts you can kind of adjust. I don't know how you're going to adjust front to back. I guess just the back bolt, and then side to side with those. So I don't see anything. I'm going to go ahead and flush it. This is supposed to be some kind of new toilet design with the new pump. The water goes like that. I don't know. I don't care. I just think it's comfortable because it's chair height. So I'm going to flush it, run downstairs real quick, make sure nothing is leaking, and we're going to finish up with a light, and we're done with this project. All right, I'll finish up, ceiling lights up. Probably have to do a second coat on the ceiling, but all the racks are up. Like I said, these are only temporary. Everything needs clean though, but way better. So if you watched up to this point, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe.